Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. We have some news, but before we get into that, I just want to take a minute to ask you guys to make sure that if you like this type of content, that you hit that subscribe button, as well as the bell next to it to be notified of any videos I post here on the channel, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up, because every time you do that, it helps the channel out greatly. Anyway, on with the news. The very first thing that I have for you guys is from Rebor, and it is a look at their Tyrannosaurus Rex, their scientifically accurate version of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, and the pose that the dinosaur will be in. In my previous news video, I had shown you guys basically the completed sculpt as far as the detailing aspect goes. Well, we now have some really nice images all kind of combined here into one, showing off the Tyrannosaurus and the pose that it will be in, which is definitely fun to see. A very nice natural looking pose. Nothing overly flashy, but I think it looks really quite nice overall. Again, kind of your standard pose as far as a Rebor dinosaur goes, but definitely a very appealing pose. And certainly a figure that I am highly anticipating the release of. And then we have some images from Passion Charger after I had shown you guys the images of the Therizinosaurus and Tarbosaurus from the previous news video. I had shown you guys a pose where the Therizinosaurus was defending itself from the Tarbosaurus and kind of hitting him in the face. Well, we now have a new updated version of the model. I don't know exactly if he's going to be using the other pose or if it's going to be this kind of positioning for the dinosaurs, but we now have, a different look for the model, which again looks really quite nice. I actually really like this one as well, so I'm kind of torn as to which one I would prefer. I think I honestly might prefer this one. Like, everything looks really neat, almost a look of surprise, but yet anger on the face of the Therizinosaurus as it kind of jerks its body away from the Tarbosaurus, almost like the Tarbosaurus snuck up on the Therizinosaurus and it just was not aware that it was on its way over to it, and then again kind of got surprised, caught off guard, and is now about to defend itself. As you can see, the right hand of that Therizinosaurus is raised and about to smack that Tarbosaurus right in the face. But again, an unbelievable model yet again on the part of Passion Charger, which is, something they consistently deliver. They always deliver nothing but pure beauty, and this is definitely a great example of that. A very highly anticipated model as far as I'm concerned. Also, as far as Rod's random work goes, you may recall that he had created some really cool replacement heads in collaboration with Makes to replace the previous Amber Collection Velociraptor head sculpts because of the fact that those were incorrect as far as screen accuracy goes, and Marco and Rod's random work had worked together to collaborate on making the accurate head sculpts, and he was actually selling those, but he has actually started work and I believe is actually near finished or already finished on replacement heads for the Amber Collection Dimorphodon figures as well, which I think is super cool, because it's nice to have a much higher quality head sculpt to replace some of these other head sculpts. Again, just in general, you can see from this that the teeth of the Dimorphodon just look so much better on the Rod's Random Work version. Definitely a really nice looking replacement for the previously released Amber Collection Dimorphodon head sculpts. I don't have those figures actually quite yet, something that I am intending on getting hold of very soon, but I just haven't really been all that inclined to get them quite yet. I will get there at some point, but these head sculpts definitely look better than the ones that I had seen previously on the actual Amber Collection Dimorphodon figures. So again, if these are something you are interested in, make sure you check the link in the description and head on over to Rod's Random Work on Instagram and contact him about purchasing these, or you can contact me and I will contact him for you. And speaking of replacements that Rod is responsible for, he also was not happy with the Raptor hatchling that was included in the John Hammond set, so he went ahead and created himself a brand new Raptor hatchling, which looks way better than the one that was included with John Hammond, and it looks just honestly perfect as far as a sculpting and detailing aspect. So yet another incredible piece on the part of Rod's Random Work that you could probably also purchase to include in your Mattel collection. And then speaking of Marco Makes, he actually has another Rubbersaurs on the way, and we have kind of a little tease here of it. which is the Baryonyx. And he had previously released a Baryonyx Rubbersaurs figure, but with the fact that he's now 3D sculpting his figures and just pulling them out at an incredible rate, he has decided to remake the Baryonyx and give us a second version with a much more accurate sculpt, which I thought the first one looked really good, but this one definitely looks picture perfect as far as a Jurassic World style Baryonyx goes. So something that I personally am really excited about seeing when he gets around to releasing this, but I believe there are a few other Rubbersaurs releases that will be released prior to this one. Regardless, it is just a fantastic model yet again from Marco Makes. And then as far as the beasts of the Mesozoic and the Tyrannosaur series, we have a look at the current progress of the paintwork of the Tarbosaurus prototype here by Candid Sculpts, who is also doing the paintwork on the Walking with Dinosaurs style Tyrannosaurus. And this one is a really nice looking paint job because all of the coloration isn't overly flashy, or at least what we see so far. Not like a lot of the other figures that you usually see come from the beasts of the Mesozoic lines. And again, a very, very nice and natural looking paint scheme that I'm a huge fan of as far as the really nice natural tones on the figure, and just generally a very appealing looking paint scheme. Again, nothing overly flashy, nice and simplistic, but I actually really like that aspect of it. So really excited to see this one get finished. And then as far as Nanmu goes, they have unveiled the Parasaurolophus to us. Now the sculpt itself isn't entirely finished as far as the pose goes, because they haven't decided quite yet on what the pose will be, but we can get a really nice, very clear image here, a good look at the Parasaurolophus itself and the detailing aspect of it. I think they nailed it. It is like absolutely picture perfect. As far as the JP Parasaurolophus goes, like it just looks incredible. So it's kind of another of the many at this point Nanmu models that I can't wait to see the actual paint schemes for, but even in this early stage I am insanely excited for this Nanmu release. And then as far as the Jurassic World line goes, we have some very interesting figures. This one was actually shown off on Collect Jurassic of a really weird Trigger Chomper Velociraptor Blue figure that has started to show up in Australia. Very interesting, kind of goofy looking Velociraptor Blue figure, but something that I would actually like to have in my collection because he's pretty fun. Again, not anything that I'm dying to get my hands on, but something that if given the opportunity I would definitely pick up, and definitely something that, you know, anybody in Australia would probably be interested in checking out if you are a fan of Velociraptor Blue. And then as far as Imaginext goes, they actually have released some new figures, or at least one that I've seen so far, but I believe I've heard rumors of some others showing up very soon. But this one is a very interesting Tyrannosaurus Rex release, sporting a few different human characters as well as a Compsognathus, a blue one, which is really cool because that's actually something that you do see in Camp Cretaceous, as well as a Bumpy the Ankylosaurus figure and a really cool green Tyrannosaurus. I actually spotted this today at my local Walmart, so it's something that is already on the shelves at, or at least my Walmart, but I'm sure will be at most Walmarts very soon. I'm also not sure how many of you guys follow my Instagram account, but I posted yesterday on Instagram that I happened to stumble upon the Captivz Jurassic World figures in Walmart. So that is super awesome, exciting news that those figures have finally shown up at Walmart, and definitely something that I really want to let you guys know about so you can head to your local Walmart, and hopefully they will be there. They're definitely the best mini Jurassic World figures that I've ever seen, and without question worth picking up. So make sure you head to your local Walmart and buy yourself some of these gorgeous Captivz Jurassic World figures today. And then as far as the Fierce Force figures from Mattel, and again a thank you to Collect Jurassic for this information, but we have a look at the in-package first wave of the Fierce Force that has recently shown up in Germany. These will actually be hitting Walmarts here in the United States, as my local Walmarts already have all of the tags up and ready to go for each of the 4 figures you see before you, but unfortunately they just aren't stocked quite yet. So these are on their way to the United States, but it's still really cool in general to see them in package. And then continuing with more Mattel and more thanks to Collect Jurassic, we have some really nice high definition images of the Sound Surge figures, which are basically electronic basic figures, kind of similar to the previous basic line, but now with, you know, at least a little bit of action feature and sound to them. But again, we have a really cool T-Rex that is in the line, as well as a Carnotaurus, and the fact that these are smaller and normally these species here are released in a much larger form makes me very excited to see them again. Being basic figures, they are exactly that. They are super basic. There's really not much to them other than, you know, a little bit of paint, a really cool sculpt, and now apparently some sound, and definitely something that I'm really excited to get my hands on. I'm hoping they show up in the United States. I don't know for sure if they will, but I would imagine so. So something I'll be keeping my eye out for and will definitely be picking up if I can find them. And the final thing from Mattel is the fact that we have some brand new images of some Amber Collection figures, one of which is Robert Muldoon, and I honestly think that they did a fantastic job on Muldoon from what we can see here from these images, which is, you know, kind of something that we've come to expect from the Amber Collection line. I feel like the humans are always really well done. Sometimes you have issues with the dinosaurs, but I feel like they haven't really failed us yet as far as the human figures go. A little bit of, you know, some sloppy paint on the Hammond figure. This Muldoon looks to be perfect from what we can see from these images so far, so definitely something that I cannot wait to get my hands on. I'm a huge fan of Muldoon, and he was probably one of my favorite characters from Jurassic Park, so I'll be really excited to have an Amber Collection version. And then we also have some images of the upcoming baby T Rex and Compsognathus. Now, this set, as far as I'm concerned, is a tad controversial because I don't think it's near as nice as I was expecting it to be. I feel like the sculpt of the Rex looks pretty good. The arms are certainly too long, but it still looks pretty good overall. I'm not a huge fan, however, of the actual paint application. Now, it may just be these promotional images, and when I see it in hand, it might be different, might be a little darker, but I feel like the greens and everything on it are just way too bright. But I absolutely love the addition of the leg being wrapped up as well as the mouth being tied shut. Really cool on the part of Mattel. And then we have the Compies, and I don't really like the Compies too much at all, honestly. The lower jaws are obscenely large, like they just don't look very good. I feel like Mattel kind of botched the sculpts of these Compies. I don't think they look honestly much at all like Jurassic Park style Compies. So a bit of a letdown, but maybe they're just super small and that's why they look so off. I don't know. I'll have to really truly wait until I see them in person. But at this point, it is really exciting to have a Compsognathus figure coming from Mattel because they haven't really released much as far as that species goes in the past, other than like some really tiny ones. So it's nice to have some Compies that actually have some articulation and stuff. It's just that I really wish the sculpts looked better and they looked more screen accurate because these ones here don't look that great. And I honestly feel like the coloration on both of these figures, like the Rex should have been the color of the Compies should have been the colors of the Rex because they definitely would have suited each other better in my opinion. But still a set that I'm really excited to pick up, and it's nice to have some more dinosaurs that aren't Velociraptors showing up in the Amber Collection. So as of right now, guys, that's all the news I've got. When more comes out, I'll be sure to send it your way, but until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.